Have you paid attention to the Hunter Dickinson versus Mark Adams?
Yeah, I did want to talk about this. This is pretty good. This is pretty fun.
It's less Portal and more just like
scuttlebutt
and drama and all caps of this league type stuff.
Yeah, it's really great. It's great off-season content, but it's all over Terrence Shannon, which is Armando Bacot, North Carolina was in the running at one point. That he reached out. Illinois is who eventually lands him, but Michigan, it was supposedly a done deal. And then Hunter Dickinson came out on Twitter and basically accuses Mark Adams of blocking the done deal to Michigan. And then Terrence Shannon.
What was it? There was something like Terrence Shannon. The story I had heard or read. We need like a buzzer on the show. Jim, get like a button I can hit that's like reckless speculation, and it's like a siren. It's like
it's like popping up in front of you.
Reckless speculation incoming. The story I had heard was that Terrence Shannon needed to take some summer school course to be eligible at Michigan, and then Mark Adams like blocked that somehow. Hunter Dickinson was under the impression that Mark Adams had blocked that course, which I don't know how a coach can stop a guy from taking a course if he's enrolled in the school. I think like maybe Mark Adams was like, we're not going to pay for it if you're transferring, like Terrence Shannon, like maybe that's the story. Like Terrence Shannon was on scholarship. He had to take like one more summer school class before he could get into Michigan. And then Mark Adams was like, I'm not going to pay for this. You're no longer on scholarship if you're leaving us. And then that's what Hunter Dickinson was mad about. I don't know. It was very strange.
I mean, that sounds right.
That seems to add up.
Your reckless speculation adds up. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
We're like both sides. I can see why both sides would be aggrieved in that situation. Because I'm a little concerned about the mass exodus at Texas Tech.
I was going to bring this up because
the Texodus.
Kevin McCullough is transferring. This feels like a Daryl Morcell situation from Maryland, where he to me was like the heart and soul of Texas Tech.
Yeah, when I think of Texas Tech, he is one of the names that comes in the faces that comes to mind.
And again, hit the reckless speculation siren. Yeah, transfer portal reckless. Thank you, Jim. Thank you. Hit the reckless speculation button. I think the story of that was Devion Harmon is transferred from Oregon. He just committed to Texas Tech. He's going to play point guard for Texas Tech. Texas Tech didn't really have a point guard. It was Adonis Arms and McCullough last year were the kind of the de facto.
You bring the ball up.
Yeah,
guys.
you bring you run the point.
That's a larger conversation we should have this summer. The difference between I bring the ball up and a point guard.
I'm a point guard. Yeah. So McCullough, I guess, like, because this happened with Daryl Morcell, like he wanted to play point guard more, I think, and then they brought in Fats Russell to Maryland. He was like, I'm going to leave then.
Yeah.
I think it's the same situation here where he's leaving.
Again, reckless speculation.
Which it checks out. But also it's like, it is indicative of like the times we're living in, because like that's like something that simply would not have happened even 10 years ago. That a guy like Kevin McCullough and Daryl Morcell, especially, because like I get like other guys, but a guy who's like, he's been there for 3 years. He's from Texas. He represents you talk about programs of culture. Texas Tech is certainly one of those programs, and he had that. He embodied that. It really is like Aaron Kraft transferring after 3 years at Ohio State because he wanted more shots or something. And you're like, what?
Yeah,
that doesn't check out at all. But
he's like West Virginia said that I would get more shots. I would
get more shots.
30 shots a game.
That's all I ultimately care about. And you're like, well, wait a second. I thought you cared about
the team.
And all that. It's like, no, never. But Kevin, who's going to be the one that cares about Texas Tech culture? And he leans in, he says, "It will not be me."
It will not be me.
But where does that leave us talking about Mark Adams now? Because he was sort of the belle of the ball last year with the way that Chris Beard left Texas Tech, and Chris Beard comes back and they beat Texas's ass, and Mark Adams is so highly respected, and Fran Fraschilla is. Every time Texas Tech played and Fran's on the call, he's telling me about the importance of this man in the state of Texas and how much he matters to basketball in Texas. And I came away from last year, I was like, Mark Adams is he the best coach in college basketball?
Yeah, I know, yeah. Is he John Wood?
But now he's not winning the offseason, Tate. And he's not winning the offseason.
And they struggled in that Duke game too, you know what I mean? So like you kind of had a little bit of a bad taste in your mouth, especially with the talent on their group. But yeah, I mean, this is I will say, in a war between Hunter Dickinson and Mark Adams, I side with Mark Adams. But in a war of player versus coach, I side with player.
Ooh.
So in this situation, I'm gonna have to remove myself from the situation. I will not. It will not be me. Someone has to take a side, and it will not be me.
College basketball we're at right now is truly the Wild West, and Thankfully, I felt like in the last couple weeks, it has become more acceptable to like step up and be like, this is kind of insane. This is actually insane. What's happening here?
Well, and
But I don't know.
Thankfully, we have stable leadership. Oh wait,
Yeah.
that's right. The guy's on a farewell tour for a year, and then no one even knows what the NCAA looks like. You know what I mean? Like, there's literally like if you want to keep up with, like, the car is just driving, and we have no idea where the car is going, but it's flying.
But I guess
going
the
100 miles
reason,
per
and
hour.
Lord knows we're gonna revisit this conversation a million more times in the offseason.
Yeah.
But the reason I want to bring it up this time is like this Hunter Dickinson Marquette. I don't know the real story. It was regular speculation, as is what we do best on the show.
Yeah.
But there is a sense that these players should literally be able to do whatever they want and go wherever they want and get any amount of money from anyone at any time and just have free reign to do whatever it is they want. And anytime they get any sort of pushback from that, it's like, wait a second, what do you mean I can't transfer to Michigan, or I can't, like, you're gonna this has been happening with so there's some conferences, I guess, that are holding out, that are banning interconference transfers. You can't transfer from one team in conference to another team in conference. And some of the college basketball media types have been losing their minds over that like guys are getting blocked from, say, transferring from a North Carolina to a Virginia, or a Virginia, that sort of transfer.
Yeah.
That used to be the norm. You couldn't do that. Now it's like most conferences are allowing it to
It used
happen.
to be like insane to think about.
Yeah.
That someone would do that.
Can I be the dissenting opinion? I don't have a problem with that. If you're, as a conference, like, this is terrible for our conference. If a guy if RJ Davis transferred to Duke, that is terrible. There's no other way around that.
Yeah.
You can say that's great for RJ Davis all you want. That's horrible. That's terrible for the sport. That's terrible for the conference. It's terrible for both schools. That's not a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's how you see it and you want to put the rules in, those are your rules. That's your
What have you
prerogative.
heard?
That's your prerogative. Yeah. No, I mean, that's your right. Like, that's I don't understand.
That's the bag. Hey there, thanks for watching Titus and Tate. For the full friend of the program experience, subscribe right below and come join us for all things college basketball. The action is heating up. Come join Titus and Tate.